everybody. Welcome to this seventh episode of season three of the Futsal Philippines Show, brought to you by the Henry V. Moran Foundation. This is the most exciting online futsal show on the internet today. My usual co host, Roy Moore, is currently on an airplane right now to England, so he can't join us tonight. But I think we have a pretty decent replacement for Roy, and we have the FIFA futsal expert and national team futsal coach, Coach Vic Herman's here to join us for analysis. Good evening, Coach Vic.
Good evening. Good evening. Nice that I can be again in the show this evening.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. How are you,
Talk.
Coach Vic?
Good. Last games tomorrow. Exciting to see, of course, what happens tomorrow. Exciting also for the selection for the national team coming up for our Four Nation tournament. And till now, we can only say that the pool for the national team is bigger than last year. What I mean with this, the quality from the players is growing. All the teams are growing. Because I'm very happy with that.
So, guys, if you're not aware, tomorrow at Tuloy sa Don Bosco from 8 a.m. until around about 2 in the afternoon, we will be having our final day. We will determine the champion, second place, third place, all the standings for the eight teams in our High Five, inaugural High Five Women's Futsal League. And that all happens tomorrow. Now, Coach Vic, you said, of course, this league, as everybody knows, is a scouting platform for the national team pool. Has that pool already been set in stone, Coach Vic? Do you know who you'll get, or it's still subject to changes last
No,
minute?
the last final things tomorrow. But the biggest of the pool was last week. I spoke with a lot of girls already from the seven teams, from the eight teams. I did not speaking on the moment with speak with some people from Tuloy that I will do this week or after tomorrow. But the other teams, they know which girl is selected for the first tryout. What we start doing in September. Yeah, and you know what we're doing in September. We speak about that last week. It's that I want to increase the trainings moments because the futsal game is more fitness, and we need also coming more together with the girls. And I hope that we can set up this all for the first camp in September. But I'm willing. I'm very decent that we can do that. That's no problem. Yes.
Yes, so definitely we will be having a month-long camp later this September, and this will be leading up to the Four Nations friendly that we have slated that the PFF will organize, inviting three other countries to compete for women's futsal here in Manila at the Ninoy Aquino Stadium. So watch out for that. This league is really a scouting platform, but we had a very interesting matchup last week, Coach Vic, the
Yes.
semifinals, and one game was actually delayed due to some issues we had with the officiating, but hopefully that is all sorted out. So if it's okay, Vic, we'll get into our first match, which is
Yes.
between battle for the semifinal for the battle for fifth place, and this is between number five University of Makati versus number eight Dr. J Autoclave FC. So this is for a place in the battle for fifth, which is the consolation semifinal for the High Five Women's Futsal League. Let's check it out.
Um, Definitely, I think our team could have done a lot better, especially in defending. I know we can do a lot better, but for some reason when we're playing like an actual game, we kind of choke. But for sure, we just have to get over our like fears and like our lack of self confidence, and for sure we'll be able to hopefully win. I think it motivated us because we saw na like if we um pushed hard enough, we would be able to score. Yeah, but then we were a bit down because of our defending mostly. Better passes, actually everything, but mostly communication and hunger to score.
Yung team ko po before, ano po, parang nga pong, ano, wala pa po kaming team chemistry po talaga. And ngayon po, talagang binild po talaga po namin and nag-work hard po kami para po ma-remain po yung team po namin sa top 5 po. Need lang po namin i-improve is yung sipag po talaga, yung heart po, yung yung mismong tiyaga po para po manalo po talaga kahit po sobrang lakas po ng kalaban po talaga. Walang-wala naman po yun pag masipag po yung buong team po.
So, congratulations to the University of Makati for beating Dr. J 4 goals to 1. Vic, you were there at the match. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, yeah. It was also the ranking give in the beginning also 5 and 8. It's still 5 and 8. The difference between the two teams was for me the whole league. Also that Dr. G was every time running behind. The squad from them was not big enough in my opinion, but the quality was growing during the tournament that you saw. And in this game, you saw already that also Womack has a lot of pool, a lot of good players. And when you see also the first goal from Cabal, that is also one of the girls for the young newcomers. In my what I'm thinking, what we need for the future. But in totally, when I see the game, Womack was the best team in this, and they deserve, of course, to play tomorrow for place 5 and 6. And you see both teams also. What I mention every week, they play very open, and that is something what I want to teach also the girls in the national team, that they must control the back and starting to think more from now the back. That both team, when you see the highlights again, it's going more. The goals are always coming most of time from transition, etc. But that's for every team the same. But in this game was clear that Womack deserved this play one. I think in the beginning from the league they were also thinking that maybe Azuri and Womack come in the last four. Dus that means it is a strong team in my opinion, and they have good players. This was a normal win for me, and I hope that Dr. G next year in the new competition has a bigger pool. What I'm thinking now when the schools are open and she got no, and I hope that the increasement what they did in this tournament will follow up for the next round and for the next league. This was a normal deserve, yes.
Yeah, definitely, Coach Vic. I think UMAC has impressed. No, even if they
Yeah,
are out of the top four, I think they're a
yeah,
quality team.
yeah,
And you talk about Dr. J, the schools. I think we noticed the schools they're still recovering from the pandemic. No,
yes.
they lack players, or sometimes the players are not as fit. So hopefully
Mm,
they can catch up with the club teams. No,
yeah,
in futsal. So,
yeah.
congratulations, University of Makati, and they booked their place in the battle for fifth. So we go to our other semifinal in this consolation bracket, which pits number 6 Tondo FC versus number 7, an up and coming number 7, Pangasinan United. So let's take a look at the highlights from that match.
Well, for me, Pangasinan deserves it more. The travel outside the field, mas hard work yung pinapakita ng Pangasinan. And for our girls, I think they need to do more hard work, especially outside the court. Kasi we only train once a week. So it shows dito sa this kind of league na all the teams are progressing. And then them, naging stagnant yung progression namin. So I hope na this will be a great lesson for the girls na they need to do more hard work outside and inside the court. Well, after the league, some of the girls will leave the Tondo FC program, so they will now study in different university. So we're hoping that these girls will be the inspiration, and we can produce more girls younger than them, so that we can play again here in this kind of league. Well, it's up to the girls now na kailangan may mapatunayan sila in the last game. So we're hoping na they will attend more trainings and they will work outside our training program, and and they need to work even harder dito sa next game to come. So we're hoping na we can bring some of the Tondo FC community members here next week and support the girls for the last game and cheer them. So they should dedicate the game not only for themselves but for the whole community of Tondo FC.
Sabi ko lang po we did our best po, and we napakita po namin yung mga dapat namin ipakita na skills namin, and satisfied naman po kami sa game na pinakita po namin. Sa ano po ma'am, na ano po kami dun sa depensa po namin, na bubutasan po kami. Sa tingin po namin, kailangan po namin mas higpitan yung depensa po namin, kasi yung MAC po mabibilis din po sila, and minsan nakakawala din po sila sa amin. Kaya sa next game po namin, kailangan po namin higpitan yung depensa namin sa kanila.
Sa team overall performance, yun, nagpapasalamat ako sa kanila kasi last week, may request kami sa kanila na discipline regarding sa kanilang physical. So, tinupad naman ng mga bata, nakita ko naman na sa fitness nila ngayon medyo okay sila, and still gamit silang lahat. So, yun, maganda ang pinakita ng mga players. Yung last game kasi namin sa UMAC, that was draw. So, malakas kasi yung team. So, I think pagpe-preparan po talaga namin sila, and hoping na kasi examination week nung iba. So, hoping na hindi rin masagasaan yung kung magkakaroon kami ng training period na face-to-face. And, syempre, kailangan kung kaya namin talaga. And, sa next travel namin, I think baka agahan namin kasi, syempre, ano na yun parang finals na rin para sa amin para makapagpahinga sila maigi. And yun, ibigay yung todo talaga.
So a pretty convincing win there. Congratulations to Pangasinan United for defeating Tondo FC, the lower seed defeating the higher seed, 6-1. Vic, your impressions on the team going different directions, I think.
Yeah, that's correct. When you see the whole league, but first, what the coach from Dennis Mark he said from Tondo, that's correct, of course. They're leaving again some girls, and it is very hard for him, of course, to bring every time new kids in this squad. That is something. But what you saw in this game also is what I like in futsal. The first goal was after 8 till 10 seconds. You see what can happen in futsal, and I tell every girl also on training sessions, when you're losing with 2-0, 3-0, don't be afraid when there is 3 minutes left. We saw this week when we said the extra time but we will talk later maybe about that. 3 goals in 3 minutes. Dus it can also be happy. Dus that is Tondo, and they have not a big squad, we know. But the most surprising was for me Pangasinan. When we saw them after 2 league games, 0 points, we were hoping that they get a point with Dr. G. I remember me 1 month ago, and you see they make the draw then, and then they're winning a game, and you see a lot of progression in that team, and that is very nice to see for me. Dus, and what the coach Floyd said on the end, yes, that will be tomorrow a very nice game between Wumak and Pangasinan for sure. And this will be now two teams. The one is growing, the others may be disappointed that they're not in the last four. But for me, was Pangasinan the surprising team in the league when they have coming, and they have very good players in the squad for sure. But tactical, yeah, you saw it when I saw the 1-2 from the goal against Pangasinan again. When you saw it again in the highlights, all four players from them were in front of the ball. The girls from Tondo can go to the goal ward from Pangasinan. There was nobody defending anymore. That is something what I said before already. This is something what we must cover in the future for our Philippine teams and for the national team of sure. But I'm waiting for tomorrow. Then we have a nice clash for place 5 and 6 for them, and also for Tondo and Dr. G for sure. Tomorrow we got a very nice game from teams who are even to each other. Dus I think for everyone, and I'm hoping, of course, that everybody excited tomorrow from that game. Yeah, but Pangasinan impressed me in the flow where they're coming from during this league. Yes, very nice and good players.
Yeah. Me also, Vic. I think when they first started out, they were more defensive. They were more playing a 2-2 type of formation, but now they're more open. I think they're
Yeah.
now shifting to the 1-2-1 system, like more attacking, and I think their players have more confidence. So,
Yeah.
very good to see their improvement. And you're right, what Coach Floyd said. Tomorrow they're going to treat it like a final for them.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we will see.
congratulations to Pangasinan. So we have a matchup, a battle for 5 between UMAC and Pangasinan tomorrow. And this leads us to that ends our recap for the consolation semifinals. But now we go to the main event, no? And we start off with number 2 Payatas FC facing versus number 3 Azuri SC for a spot in the final. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Yeah, definitely the girls can bounce back from this. Right now, we're obviously very, very disappointed. Azuri scored when we didn't recover. It was something that we'd been working on. It was something that they didn't execute. And so we have to take responsibility for that. At the same time, there was a clear penalty that wasn't given again. Obvious penalty, obvious fouls, or obvious things that were very disappointing to see from that. But from our point of view, the girls need to recover more back into position. They need to get back into place. And if we add that effort in recovery, then we can bounce back and win that game. Generally, we controlled the game to start with, so we had the most possession and we were able to build up. We need to get a bit more movement to get the passing going better. And then when we lose the ball, we have to, in that transition, we have to recover much better. Our wingers didn't recover enough, and that's where we were left exposed 3v2. And that's about effort, that's about mindset. That's something that we have to train and train and train. That's there. We have to not let bad decisions get the best of us. So again, clear penalty, but we have to look at that and say, okay, they've made the mistake. We have to keep fighting and fighting and fighting to get back into it and to do our best during the game and look at what we can do better. We kind of dodged the bullet a little bit. In fairness, that was Mon's suggestion, so we'll take that one. It's the team. In this case, I think this one was the team's responsibility, and they have to do the sa kanila na yung parusa. But yes, we need to look at what we can improve at and really train and train and train that. Take responsibility for that and fight harder next week. So congratulations to Azuri. They played really hard. They played really intense. They've been improving every week, and so good luck to them in the final.
This game, nagtrabaho po talaga kami ng 100% and masabi ko po talaga sa game namin, hindi pa po siya fully 100%. And sa darating po na finals, papakita po namin kung ano po talaga yung Azuri. At pride po namin na dinala po namin sa finals etong game na to, and sa game na po na to, masasabi ko rin po na napakagaling ng mga teammate ko. Yun lang po. And sana supportahan niyo pa po kami sa next week. And yun lang po.
Actually, I'm very proud of them because for the past few weeks, they were training hard and working hard to reach this. So I believe that they deserve their win today. So our secret is we do watch the games of the opponents. So we review the games, we train for them. So basically we strategize for the opponent itself because we have our advantage because we can get to watch their previous games. The game was very intense. So I'm very happy that we got the place. So win or lose, we have a trophy or a medal.
So congratulations to Azuri for really edging Payatas in what was a very, very back and forth and close match. Vic, what was the difference in that game for Azuri?
No, the difference was for me when you see the game on the end, you was thinking already it was a final between two good teams playing and very open to each other. That was no problem. Now, when you saw the kickoff already, and Roy is somebody who wants also to follow the futsal game everywhere. He started also directly with pressing. When you saw the highlights, that's what he wants, and that may make the game also so interesting. And during the pressing, of course, you make sometimes a mistake and you receive a goal. But on the end, it was very close. But it was 1-1, 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 3-3, 3-4, 4-4, 4-5. Which for me on the side was a very nice game. And I be open. It was also for the other spectators very very attractive. But I must say also what Roy said on the end, and I told him that after the game. He said to me about the foul penalty kick. I'll be honest, in my opinion, Azuri received a penalty, in my opinion, but they did not get it. And that means, as coach, we're looking always to one part. That's your own team. That's correct. But I said all there is on the game, and I think also in that game the referee cannot blame. They were very good. There was no problem. But you saw also in the team Van Payatas, one of the players was for me also a very big impression make this league, and that is Danton. When you see that girl, how much energy she put in the game, and also for them when they had a bigger squad to maybe to change on the right moment and not playing the whole game. And on the end, you saw Altea go out because she was empty and she cannot play. But Danton is one of the players also very excited. And the quality of Azuri, in my opinion, is also that they have a big squad with a lot of girls who knowing each other, who play with each other. And what the coach said already, the last weeks they're training hard together to come closer. And you see it also in the league games. They're coming closer. In the beginning, I was thinking it's not the Azuri from last year, but they're coming, and we will see tomorrow what they do this week in training sessions, of course, to try to play against Tuloy, of course. But we will see. We will see that tomorrow. This was a game close. Both can win, in my opinion. Not only Azuri, also Payatas could win this game. I'll be honest. But on the end, there must be a winner. And when Ronaline had the last chance in the last seconds, she can make there the 5-5. Then we had overtime. But okay, for me, again, very happy to see this improvement on both teams.
Thanks, Coach Vic. And spoiler alert, I guess we already know who he's going to play next, but we'll get to the highlights of that game. We'll take a commercial break, though, first, and then we'll bring on our special guest for this evening's show. So let's hear a word from one of our sponsors. And it's my very special pleasure to bring onto the show somebody who we've known very well, who's been here before on the Futsal Philippines Show during the pandemic. And we're always pleased to have him here to inspire us and to give us words of wisdom on how it is to develop children overall. And I'd like to welcome very special guest, very special person to us here in Futsal Philippines and to the Moran Foundation, Father Rocky Evangelista. Father Rocky, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Kevin. It's certainly a pleasure and a privilege to be one of your guests for tonight's episode. Yes.
Yes, Father. I apologize for taking you away from probably what is dinner time around this time.
No, I'm actually in the gym for the training of the boys because we can't use our field now, so they train in the gym.
Okay, so the girls have finished training na po for tomorrow. They're all resting na.
No. I think they have a slight training tonight at 7:30. No.
Okay.
Just a brush up for tomorrow.
Brush up for tomorrow, and I'll be there, Father Rocky. I'm looking forward to it. I think also the president of the PFF will also drop by to check out the games. But Father, before we go to the games, because that's really something for tomorrow, we brought you on this show to really expose our viewers and people calling futsal on the work of Tuloy. No? And for those who may not know you and what you've done, of course, we're very familiar with that. Our first question is, why do you place so much emphasis on sports in the formation of children in Tuloy? No? Especially football and futsal. Why those sports? First of all, why sports and why those sports?
Oh yes, Kevin, your question brings me to my favorite topic, Why sports? Especially for our disadvantaged children. You know, the kind of children that we cater to are, they call them marginalized, street kids from the blocks, etc. And normally, most of these kids are not really fond of going to school, or for them, that's not very, very important. So when we receive them to give them the basic education, value formation, and all that, to give them a second chance in life, it's kind of hard to break the shell. So, because sometimes they kind of have a kind of inferiority complex, I will not succeed. I will. So, our key avenue for them to experience some sort of success and enjoy is to let them play. See, it is natural for a child to play, to run. So, and through the years, I've always believed the role of sports in character formation. And nobody will ever disagree with that. But it has to be taught with values. It has to be taught properly. Any sport is to be taught first to form the character of the person, to be hardworking, to know the rules, to have intensity, to have respect for others. In other words, I would consider sports as a test for life, or a preparation for life, or training for life. I would even advance gateway to success if taught properly with value, especially group sports. Now, among the group sports, why futsal and football? I have no prejudice for other sports as volleyball, basketball, because I played both of them and I enjoyed them. And I love to play group sports. Why futsal and why football? Because to me, in my experience, number one, allowing the children to play and to run will give them some sort of break. Oh, I can kick the ball, you know, I can shoot the ball. Therefore, probably I have some sort of qualities. And that kind of little experience of success in the field will open their eyes that they too, now they can go to school, you know, they can do other things. So it's a kind of the first door to experience some sort of success, right? But success is not only success per se, it has to have a tremendous basic character formation of values, attitude, respect for others. And to me, futsal and football are the richest in terms of opportunities. I just give one example. If I play basketball, I play basketball a lot. You know, I played with Kobe Bryant for 20 minutes. Um, you use your hands, your feet, etc. But in futsal and football, you use your head, your shoulder, your chest, your thigh, your knee, in and out. Or how many combinations can you make? Tremendous. So I say that sports are for intelligent people, but futsal and football are for genius. Why? Because you got to make a lot of decisions in life while you are running life. And so when you play futsal or football, you got to make quick decisions, take the right options, and give it the right timing, and consider where your companions are, okay? Not wasting time, getting the right time where to pass the ball, and all of that. And of course, the values of, you know, you build friendship, discipline, hard work. You learn from your mistakes, you learn from your victories. And here in Tuloy, we give a priority to this. In fact, it is a subject. All are obliged to go to the football field or gym for futsal or football. Not because everyone will become a star player, but because of the values of discipline, of hard work, and experience of success. And I call it is for intelligent people, right? It even makes you a little more intelligent than what you already are. And I'm convinced of this, having lived this for 30 years plus, Kevin.
Yeah. And you used to play, Father, before you. I remember I've heard stories about you being a very good player during your time, no? As
No, I was more of coaching our Strive team in Don Bosco before. Yeah.
But whenever I talk to you, Father, I always need to have my notebook here because there's so many quotable quotes, no? So, futsal and football are for geniuses, no? And I think the number one thing that I got from what you said just now is that people all over the country know of Tuloy as producing very skillful players, but not once did you mention that as the primary objective of your program. It's really character formation.
Yes, and that's very important. And I think um, we focus on the person, not on the person and the team winning a game. That's very, very important. Because if your focus is to win the game, then you'll form monsters or robots. No, everything is I'll win the game at any cost. All right. What's the value of winning if you lose respect? If you do anything, even if it hurts other people, that's not life. So if we want sports to be a teacher of life, then it has all the elements of the values of life. So uh, doing playing football, training for futsal with all these values will train you to be a successful person. And successful team will be a result, and it will come as a result. See, our kids here, Kevin, you know that we don't have luxury of selecting players here and there all over the country. No, we just we are content with the kids that are sent to us, and normally these are disadvantaged children in terms of health. They are standard growth. Health is not as good as those who never suffered, etc. But we rise up. We wake up for these values that we're talking about. And sometimes we get some good players out of this.
Coach Vic, I think you have a question.
Yeah, I'm wondering also when Father Rocky said, of course, we have some good players, etc. And I see they have a very good players. When I watch also the ASCAL, Tuloy has some players in the ASCAL competition, and everything was good. But is there nothing else after this? That's what I'm looking for. Is it not a shame that all that talent players cannot grow later on in football or something? That's for me every time the same. When I saw my girls in the futsal last year, and I'm hoping when they are going out of Tuloy that we maybe can do something for them. That's my big wish. Because they're growing in Tuloy, they got a lot of things for life, and whatever can do for them when they're leaving Tuloy in that sample. Is there something, Father, what we can do maybe in the future for them? When you deliver them back to the street, is there something what we can do?
Yes, definitely there's a way to do that big. And we must go out of the box because what is it that these kids, these girls or these boys, futsal or for football, uh, they need to work, they need to earn, and as early as possible. So when they're 18, 19, either they go to work, if if one or two goes to college, it's okay. But whether in college or going to work, majority of them, 98%, they go to work. How do we keep that skill, that capability, that training beyond when they're 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 27, and really sustain that team? We in Tuloy, we promise them that we will take care of that with friends, that if they become and they want to become very good players for futsal and football, we will assure their future. Number one, that they either work and play, but within our control, they continue to play, either as trainers or even coaches, or in work where they are free to practice. like if they have to practice 3 times a year, we should be able to give them work that they can, we arrange with a company or whatever, or we in Tuloy put something similar. I want to go out of the box that if, one or two or three, can she work, let's say 4 times a week, 3 times a week, or half day because she has to practice for the afternoon. There are none ways to skin a cat.
Yeah.
We just have to say we must keep on training these kids beyond their when they are 18, when they are at what they call this senior high. Otherwise, we'll always start, and we'll never create an elite team that the younger ones can look up to.
Yeah. After this week, when I saw when the girls was playing that extra time over, I saw your youngest team, the boys between 16 and 20. And I did a lot of football games also as coach, and I was shocked about the talents. I'm thinking, why is nobody looking to these kids to give them future in football? So much talent they have, and so fast and so good. Because I hope always for myself that also here what you said, that we can find people who give them also work and etc. And maybe in futsal, now I go back to my game, the futsal game, that we can organize a very nice league, and that we have maybe in the future a team from Tuloy in that league. That was my wish, of course, and I need also other teams to do that. But I want that when they're going out, and I know last year I had 7 in my team, and I see the girls now also. I hope that when we have the future for them, that's for me the most. And I hope that some other teams or other colleagues, other managers from maybe also from this league find, wait, I go on with futsal, maybe I can use them. I can offer them maybe a job in Metro Manila, I don't know where, or in Alabang, what we're doing. But this is my wish, of course, what I see for the Don Bosco Alabang, of course.
I promise our children, our players in both futsal and football, number one, you really believe that this sport has made you a better person. It has formed your character. It has trained you to be a strong person. You feel that personal benefit. You love the sport. You want to continue. Then try to become the best player that you can be. We'll be putting up very high standards. If you are there, we'll take care of your future. North, south, east, west. We will explore all possibilities. That's the only way to keep, into the future to make a team.
Yeah.
Speaking of the future, Father Rocky, what specifically are the goals for your football/futsal program in the next 2 years? What would you like to see happen, building on the success that you already have established so far?
Well, whatever best practice or whatever success that we enjoy, this is only the beginning of what we see for the future, meaning it is possible. In other words, with what we do in Tuloy, we think we can contribute to the formation of future futsal and football players. And I will approach anyone. I'll approach anyone to convince them of this, right? And what does it mean? We hope one day that we will have as many disadvantaged children, whether they are residents here or not, to be able to train and get the kind of culture that we are having in Tuloy. We want to share it, okay? So it's not necessary that they are only of Tuloy, but preferably disadvantaged children. Look at the football and futsal world. The most successful are not coming from the elites, right? It's not. We have to take that as a reality. So first step, with you, Kevin, and the other one on development of football, why don't you locate all around the country children who can come to Tuloy, preferably as residents, provided they are poor. We assure them of the future. We have to remove the prejudice that we have an ALS program, alternative learning system, which in fact now will be one of the best approaches to education today, right? So that, to be able to look for new incoming players with the style that we have. And then to be able to link with PFF in terms of strengthening this, because we need that. And in a way, become also a place where others who are not marginalized, if it is useful, they can train in the style that we use in Tuloy. It's very simple. We emphasize on character building, not a theory, truly characterized in character building. We want the kids to be able to say, it's doing me good. It's going to help my character. So we are teaching them not primarily to win, but to conquer themselves. And then as a team, they can win. And then to be, my dream is that the PFF will be able to multiply itself by identifying centers like Tuloy who can complement. You know that the country is so wide, you can do everything, all right? You cannot have many people who are crazy about the sports, futsal and football. You may have facilities. You may have people who will say, I love it, but you need to create crazy people and crazy centers who make it to us. We take it as a mission, because to me, sports, especially this kind of sports, can help develop a strong generation, a strong citizenry.
Well, I think, Father Rocky, you've already established a model that others can really follow. And what I really like about it, Father, is the fact that you really, again, are emphasizing character formation as the primary objective in a development academy. No? And congratulations on that. No? And I see a lot of comments, Father, online on XO. You mentioned the XO kids, XO children of Tuloy. What does XO stand for, Father? No, because we see it all the time. Especially here, Michelle saying football for XO kids.
XO is extraordinary. Be extraordinary. Yes. Meaning, you got to do all what you need to do, whether in sports or your studies. Be extraordinary by doing extraordinarily your ordinary duties. Put it in sports. Just one instance. Okay. I was in the gym and the kids were doing the warm up. Okay, kicking the legs at 45, 90 degrees and all of that, no? Or raising their hands. I said, can you do that without talking? You put your mind into your muscle. You can do that. Or can you do it in rhythm? Can you do it that you are the one who feels that your stretching today is better than yesterday? So in other words, ordinarily, the coach will see them raising their hands, fine, 3 minutes, etc. But to be extraordinary is to put your mind and to see to it that is better than yesterday. So when we ask our kids, how was it better than yesterday? Because even in life, if you are extraordinary every day, you have your key to success. Especially with this kind of kids, or even the kind of kids we do today, non-committal, they take things too lightly and all of that, no commitment and all of that. No. It can be done, but you must be crazy about it.
I think you mentioned before, Father, doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. No,
Yes,
and
that's our
really
motto. Do your ordinary duties extraordinarily well. Just a while ago, character formation, it is our policy that our players would have to see the place they use before they even do anything that it is clean. When I say clean, not a piece of paper could be seen in this case, the gym. Okay? They were practicing, and I called the coach, "You failed today." "Why, Father?" "I saw a piece of paper hidden in the corner because somebody was lazy to go to the garbage can or what and put it there." So all the 42 players having their training will have to spend 5 minutes looking for each and every little corner of the place that not a single little paper is there. That's doing things extraordinary. So that's character. So they go there, they say, "I'll practice, I will train for football." No. You are training your character and you use futsal or football as your vehicle.
and in that process, po, you're also teaching them accountability. No,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
entire
yeah.
team, the entire team. No,
Yes.
but
I feel so bad if I see a player like futsal or football that the player would, play hard, but play rough. It doesn't care whether the other one is hurt or not. Kung minsan nga, good if he's immobilized because he's a good player. It's coaches should be very very careful about this. Tell your kids to play hard, but avoiding hurting others. Otherwise, sports become a monstrous play.
for sure, Father. Definitely a lot of things that we can learn from you, Father, on forming kids, philosophy, and we can talk about this all night, no? But I'd like to
Oh,
shift.
yeah.
I'd
We
like to
can.
shift, Father Rocky, now to the to the league itself. Uh, what are your thoughts so far on the league? It's a pilot futsal competition for girls. Hopefully, we can build upon in the future. But your thoughts so far on what has transpired in the last eight weeks or so.
Well, I have only words of congratulations, even gratitude that this has begun. We have made a first league, and I'm sure it took a lot of thinking and effort on your part, Kevin, and the PFF. Of course, here we have our ever enthusiastic, crazy Vic Harmansford. Uh, what has been this to me, is an event that points to a very, very bright future, provided we'll do what we were talking about a while ago. From my part, I saw that every week the enthusiasm and the skills were improving. You almost cannot recognize some teams, some 2 months ago and today or last week. And that says well about the program, you know. And I think the girls kept on enjoying it every week and looking forward with excitement, whether they lose or not, right? For us in Tuloy, it's a privilege to be the venue for this, not only because we welcome this kind of competition for young people, but also because we love it. We are into it.
And we are also thankful and very grateful, Father Rocky, that you agreed to host it in Tuloy. For us, our intention was really to inspire the girls in Tuloy, or the boys and girls, in fact, and to also really put the spotlight on development and on what you're doing, uh, with your center, because I think that what you have going is probably one of the great examples of how to do an academy properly here in the Philippines. So again, Father, we'd like to thank you. I mean, you're congratulating us, but we'd like to congratulate you as well, and also express our gratitude.
Well, to you and to Coach Vic and all the rest of you in the TFF for this promotion and development of futsal. And I think what I'd like to tell the Moran Foundation, I think what you started is something that's God inspired. Not everybody can have the luxury or even the place to play football, but you thought of using a basketball court. And I think this is a big contribution also in developing future football players. And it will keep every public school so busy and so competitive and looking forward. So what I'd like to see is that, in the Filipino culture, it is imitation. We should be able to create elite teams that enjoy playing, and when a Filipino child sees that, they imitate. They imitate.
So, Father, tomorrow we have the final. Spoiler alert for the final highlights. No, it will be between Tuloy and Azuri. Your expectations there, and the thoughts on your opponent who you'll be facing tomorrow.
For me, these are teams they both enjoy. It's going to be a very, very interesting and tough game. It's not a matter of whether I like Tuloy or Azuri to win. All what I want to see is both teams play it as best as they can. To me, the scores are secondary in terms of competition. You may win a game and you play lousily, you have lost, right? But you may lose the game, but you played it your best and you follow the way it should be played. That to me is you win the game not by the score, but the way you play. So what are my thoughts for that? Of course, I'll cheer for Tuloy, but I'll be very happy if Azuri will make it. And for us, for you who have organized this, one should always win. One will win, one will lose. You have to score it. No? What are my thoughts? Azuri has very good and tough players. That's for sure. And in terms of individual strength and possibility, Azuri has an advantage, but Tuloy may have an advantage of how they play the game. That will spell the difference. Azuri will go on full throttle, and Tuloy has to contain its game, not to get throttled. Because for Azuri, to defeat Tuloy is not because it is Tuloy, whether it's for the final score or even just the elimination for Azuri to defeat Tuloy is a big, big victory, right?
Definitely, Father.
Arch rival. Yeah. So
and many of these players, many of these players know each other from the previous national team last year.
Yes, they do. Yes.
So it will be good to see friends competing against each other tomorrow, Paul. And I also think it's going to be a wonderful final, a tough final. Vic, do you have any last questions for Father Rocky before we?
No. Father Rocky said the right things where we want to go and what Tuloy is doing, and also about the league. And I'm also sitting tomorrow for both teams on the side, and also I'm a very neutral. Sometimes you have a game, you have always some favorites. I have that also, and in when you have big companies or something, you have always people in teams who you like more than the other one. But when Father Rocky said Azuri is a very strong team, Tuloy has individual players. I'm looking forward to see that, and maybe Father Rocky will sit on the side by me. We will see tomorrow what we can say to each other who has right. I think it will be on the end maybe extra time or maybe penalty kicks. It will be excessive, but okay. You will see tomorrow.
Well, we had the
And
extra time also for the semis, right?
yeah,
Against Gawad. Yeah, that was thrilling,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
really, yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that was really, that was also a good team. But okay, we will see tomorrow. We will see us tomorrow.
So,
Yeah.
as one of the commenters said on the thread, the chat thread, keep on rocking, Father Rocky.
Keep on
No,
walking, yes.
keep on rocking, Father Rocky. And we wish we'd have more time to talk to you. As I said, we can talk all night about values
Marathon.
formation, character
Yeah.
formation. This is something that myself and Danny really care about. No,
Yeah, yeah,
we really see this as very important, as probably the most important thing in engaging in sports. So
yeah,
glad
yeah.
that we're all aligned there, Father. And any last minute message you'd want to give our viewers out there before we wrap up this interview?
Well, if I have to give any message, not only to the players now, but to those who are following us, even parents or those who take care of children, bring them to sports. Because the onset of kids being isolated because of the iPad, tablet, and all of that. Come on, bring them to take the sun and the rain by kicking the ball, by running under the sun. It makes them healthy. It makes them mentally sound, and they'll meet people, right? So I think sports, especially sports, will be one of the most potent remedy for this ailment that we have now, and parents and a lot of adults are complaining. Huh? Bring them out, let them play, especially
Let,
futsal and football.
yeah, let them play. To quote you earlier, intelligent people play sports, but geniuses play football and futsal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
thank you
well,
so much, Father Rocky. Keep on rocking and best of luck tomorrow, no, in the final. I will be there, and I will be enjoying the games just as much as you guys. So maraming salamat po for joining us, and thank you again to the entire Tuloy organization and your staff for being such gracious hosts for this High Five Women's Futsal League.
yeah, Kevin, just a few seconds. Allow me to thank all our board of directors, our friends and benefactors of Tuloy, especially the Tan family and all those who support us, Isabel, and all of you guys, and all your support from TFF. And we wouldn't be here alone, but with all these people, wonderful people, they are part of our journey. And I'd say we have just begun, meaning from what we see today, it can be done and be done very well into the future. And
Can be done
God bless.
extraordinarily well, Father.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Doing
And
best.
God bless us all.
Thank
God,
you.
God bless you, Father. And that ends our interview. Thank you again for joining us. And we'd love to have you on again. Or maybe I'd like to invite you one of these days in the future to give a talk to some schools or some people who we think can benefit from your words of wisdom. So doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. So maraming salamat, Father. Have a good evening. Best of luck tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. And we'll take a commercial break and we'll wrap up the show with Coach Vic. Thank you, po,
All
Father.
right.
See you.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, all our benefactors and friends, the Tan family especially. God bless.
God bless. So, character formation through sports is the goal of Tuloy. Do ordinary things extraordinarily well. And then I like the last one, Vic. Intelligent people play sports, but geniuses play football and futsal.
Yes, he told me that also last time. And when we had the Escuela competition, this was a speech also from Padang. One girl from Tuloy, she spoke in Lazal Green Hills about this extraordinary things. Do well and do your best and make it extraordinary. And
Yeah.
that's the message. That's the message from them. Yeah. And everybody say, look, this is also a wish what Father Rocky has, of course. But when I'm looking on YouTube and I look to the Champions League, etc., then the sports not anymore friendship. You know what I mean? Sports
Yeah.
on a high level is only money, only want to win. This is nothing. Because from this topic, what we want, you build also players later on, and I hope also to winning. And sometimes I have the feeling also all the kids in Tuloy, they're growing up with the intention to do it better and make friendship, etc. And I'm always sometimes I'm afraid when they're running against a wall or in the sports against somebody from outside who is not thinking like them, because that is something what I'm say that is there's another thing in the character when you're gonna hopefully in the future that they go into other clubs or play maybe. Well, my wish is to make a futsal team, of course, a professional futsal team. And I can tell you, I can make one from this, but you need sponsors, we need a league, and this is my wish here in the Philippines. We're always talking about the talents, but we must do something with the talents. And you know what I mean with that.
Yeah.
We must stop to say talents, we must provide something for them. And that's my big wish, of course. But okay, to speak with Father Rocky is always so nice, and yeah, you can you think twice what he say always, and he has so much comments about everything in the best way what we can do, and I
Yeah.
hope he will succeed on the end, of course.
One thing, Vic, what their foundation is, people talk about Tuloy being very skillful. Their foundation is values, character,
Yeah,
this culture of being extraordinary. And when we say extraordinary, they're very process oriented. I
yeah,
get that from them. They're not focused on wins, losses.
no,
They're focused on the process. When you talk to
yeah,
their players, it's always how can I be better in this drill, in this
yeah,
practice? Like
yeah,
Padang, their captain.
yeah,
If you speak to her, she's very like that, in tune with that culture of Deloy. So speaking of characters, speaking of process, that was tested last weekend. No, we had some a very interesting final, and we'll talk about our last semifinal match. Of course, spoiler alert: Tuloy won. But let's check out the highlights between number one Tuloy and number four GKC Pag FC.
I think it was very unlucky for us. We had the chance, but yeah, I told them to score one, but I think we started at the wrong goal. So, but it's still for me it's okay overall. They still did their best after that own goal that we had. Still heads up, still the fighting spirit of the girls are there, and then after that they fought back, at least scored the goal again. But yeah, I think Tuloy is more than you see the Tuloy experience, and also how they really wanted this game also to be done also without any more issues like that. Against Payatas, it would be a very good matchup again. I hope there's no more TikTok video like that. But it would be a great match again. Another classic match here in the league, and I really look up on that game because there's also one of the best team and strong team here. We just got unlucky against Azuri in the semifinals, but it will be a tough game for us also. So we really need to get ready on that.
Yung performance po namin, good po pero kailangan pa po namin mag-improve. Kasi po kulang kami sa transition, mabilis yung gawad mag-attack, mag-transition attack. And then kami, pag na-lost ball, ang bagal po. Yun po yung kailangan namin improve. Pero overall po, good naman po. Kasi nakapunta kami sa finals. Yung feeling po na nakapasok kami sa finals is super overwhelming po para sa amin. Kasi yun po talaga yung goal namin, makapasok sa finals.
Happy po kami sa naging resulta na panalo po kami sa extra time namin. Sa totoo lang po, lahat po kami, lahat po na nandito, pati yung mga players is masaya na nakapasok kami sa finals. Sa tingin ko po, magaling po sila eh. Bali, ang prepare po namin, kailangan po talaga namin mag-prepare ng todo-todo. And then, especially yung attacking and defending namin. Magagawa po namin para makapag-prepare is kailangan po namin lagi maging focus sa bawat training, sa araw-araw na training namin.
So congratulations to Tuloy. Again, no spoilers here for beating Gawad Kalinga Sipag 5-3, and it went to extra time. Vic, quite a controversial game because on the match day, it was ended by the officials when it should have been when a second period of extra time should have been played. We won't get into specifics of that because that's a story in itself. So I kind of want to focus more on the match itself.
Yeah.
And your thoughts there. It was a very good game. Very good game.
Yeah, I must first I was very happy with the Gawit Kalinga team. Everybody knows who's listening now. Gawit Kalinga team is a project. What's running was in Calamba. Last 2 years, we started a futsal project there on the school, on the Inspire Raya. And these girls were training for 6 times a week extra. Young girls, grade incoming grade 11. 2 years training with coaches, with Coach Esther, also sometimes with Coach Jason from Tuloy when we had a problem to find the coach for there. And you saw that they were growing. And also in this tournament, I think this is this was very happy for me when I say always, this is a young national team for me, what we created there. And in this game, it was 3-2, of course, when it happens that we must go in extra time for the second one. And I was thinking when that maybe can play directly after that, they were also in a flow. It was better than the 3 minutes later, what we saw, 3 goals in 3 minutes. But okay, everybody's fit. And in that game was not everybody fit also on Tuloy's side. Because I was wondering when this was the real game till the end. But okay, that was the CPAC. And again, also for tomorrow for them, they play against Payatas. They will be great. And you saw already now they had 10 girls. And I saw then for the last 3 minutes, they had only 5 girls. So I hope that they can play tomorrow with a full squad again. There were some girls, some injured. So I hope that they have tomorrow more than 5 or 6 players. But okay, for me, this what they did in this league, fantastic. Happy to see that. Also, some girls going to other schools. I hope that they play futsal, can still play futsal, and I hope to see them back, of course, in the league from next time they have the league. Tuloy, example, the other team is, in my opinion, a little bit struggling more. And last year, and that's why I'm happy tomorrow when they play Azuri. Last year, when they win the league, they play only one time against Azuri, and that was on the end was the goal clearance also important. Tuloy was sitting on a tribune when I remember, and they're winning also because the goal clearance. But tomorrow they must go full to against Azuri to play, and I think they must go. In my opinion, they must play better than the last weeks. When Azuri is a good team, and what you said before in the interview with Father Rocky, they know each other. Azuri knows each other. Tuloy knows each other, and for me, it's even who's gonna win tomorrow. For me, it's more important later that they go together from these two teams and other teams that we can make our national team, of course. But I'm wondering tomorrow how Tuloy will play. I don't know. I don't know how they will play, but it will be a tough match. And I don't say who's gonna win. I don't do that. For me, it's Azuri and Tuloy the same. But in that game against Sipak, I be honest, when the 3 minutes was played directly after the first half, I think Sipak has a chance. That was my really comment about that. Yeah, and okay, they will see tomorrow, and I hope that the girls can play again a very good game against Payatas. Yeah, that was and in that game it was even. It was even. It was not so that Tuloy was easily winning that game. No, that was not. You saw also 1-0, 2-1, 1-1, 2-1. Was very close. Was very close. But okay, we will see tomorrow how they end all the competition. But I'm very happy with the Gawi Kalinka team. And okay, they play for number 3 and 4. What for me is already a very big success. And when you have Umak behind you, and that's a very good one.
I think the Gawad Kalinga team, Vic, when they played Tuloy, they lost 9-1, and I think they were able to change a lot of things and really improve. I think also the mentality of the young girls was something different. And you're right, they could have won it. They could have won it, no? And but I think experience. Tuloy was a more experienced team. Both teams had the same situation, I guess, playing the second period on a different day. And I think the experience showed there, for Tuloy. So let's bring up the matches for next week, starting with the battle for 7th. Just to recap what we will see tomorrow. Our first game, the battle for 7th will be between Dr. J Autoclave against Tondo FC. Dr. J looking to get their first win, and Tondo FC looking to finish the league in a high note. Vic, your very brief thoughts on this match.
I said in the beginning, Dr. G is every time improving, and Tondo was in the beginning improving, but they're very young, skillful players. I think it will be an even game. It will be, I don't know on the end who's going to win, but it will not be a big result. A draw or something, in my opinion.
A draw. But somebody has to win tomorrow, so let's see. And then the next game, UMAC versus United.
UMAC against Pagansina. Yeah, also very interesting because the team van Floyd is they're sitting in a flow, and you saw them 2 games 0 points, then 1, then 4, and then on the end they play well. And I think UMAC will be very sharp to win this game because they. Yeah, okay. But also here, I don't know exactly who's going to win. Experience tells me Wumak, but Pagansinan can be for a very big surprise.
Okay. So we'll see, Vic. Another 50-50 game. And then the battle for 3rd is between GK Sipag FC against Payatas. You said this is also going to be a very close match.
Yeah, but at the end here, I can say my personal opinion now, I hope for Gabi Kalinga a very good game. On the end, I think that Payatas will win. I have a feeling about that. They have couple of very good players in the team. But we will see. Maybe I'm wrong. But this girl, what you see now in the picture, she was not there on Wednesday. She's a very good talent girl, and I hope she will also play tomorrow. But she was Wednesday not there anymore. She was on the side. She could not play. Okay, but in the end, I think it will be Payatas. Not that I hope also Gawi Kalinga, but I must say something, and I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Let the girls from Gawi Kalinga show that and be wrong tomorrow.
Yeah. And hopefully, Vic, you're wrong that I'll have to do a TikTok video for Roy.
Oh, okay.
And that brings us to our final. You already said your opinion, Vic, on this. Last thoughts on Tuloy versus Azuri, the big championship match.
Yeah. I think that Tuloy must go, in my opinion, coming better than the last weeks, in my opinion. And Azuri is growing the last weeks, thus it will not so easy for Tuloy. On the end, I will see it will be a close game. It will be for sure a close game. And as national coach, I cannot say I go for this or this. Let me wait till tomorrow after the game to give a comment.
Okay, so those are our matches for tomorrow. Final day of the season, the league to determine the final placings of everyone. Coach Vic, thank you again for coming and giving your analysis. I will see you tomorrow. So you're free to leave and get some rest. But for all our viewers out there, don't leave yet because we will wrap up the show with our Amicis Gustos goal of the week and some final thoughts after a message from one of our sponsors. So last week's semifinal matchups had some very interesting drama and controversy, some fantastic matches, some great performances. And we'd like to recap the Karamia Girls of the Game, the winners, the best players of the matches from last week's semifinal. So let's take a look at that. Of course, the game between Payatas and Azuri, Karamia Girls of the Game was Princess Cristobal. We really held it at the back for Azuri FC, and I really saw them and Payatas 5 goals to 0. The next Karamia Girls game, of course, between the Tuloy FC and the semi-final, Catherine Palatin, she was able to score the goal that put Tuloy ahead 3-2 and really see them finish off a tough Gawad Kalinga side who was really upset and spoiler-minded to go win 5-3 and book their place in the final. Our third Karamia Girl of the Game, of course, from the ever-improving Pangasinan United, their game against Tondo, Lian Kate Corpus, their winger, their number 8, their talisman, or their taliswoman, to be correct, really performed well, opening the scoring for Pangasinan United. And this brings us to our fourth Karamia Girl of the Game. Of course, Julia Cabal from University of Makati. She opened the scoring against Dr. J. Alta Club. We really saw them stamp their class in the semi-final match to book their place in the battle for fifth in tomorrow's matchup. And that is it for the Karamia Girls of the Game. And now we will show you their candidates for the Amicis Gusto Goal of the Week. Let's check it out. And those are our candidates for the Amici's Gusto Goal of the Week, our second to last version. And for those who want to vote on it, just check on the link, type in who you think, or select who you think should be the winner for the Amici's Gusto Goal of the Week. We'd like to make a correction that goal number 4 by Bando is actually, she's not from Bando, but she's from Tuloy FC. So correction on that matter, we'll have to sort it out. So again, guys, thank you very much for tuning in to the Futsal Philippines Show. Tomorrow is the final match day where we will see all our teams competing for final placings, and of course, the big match between Tuloy and Azuri to determine who will be the champion of the inaugural High Five Women's Futsal League. So I'd like to wish good luck to all the teams tomorrow. Play hard, play fair, and enjoy. So without further ado, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to tonight's show. And we'd like to wish you all a good night and hopefully see you tomorrow in the live stream of the matches. Thanks, guys. Bye.